Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I came out to the shop today and I spent all afternoon, and it's I don't know, about 6:30, well, it's later than that, 6:45. Anyway, I'm getting ready to go in, and I've been working on my John Deere. Yesterday I had my grandson here and he helped me clean the gutters, and he helped me put up some lattice on the underside of the deck at one point, and I was going to have him drive this in here to the shop so I could do some adjustments on it, and we couldn't get it to run and stay running. Don't ask me why, but today I came out and it started. Ran fine. I mowed the lawn even, but I mowed the lawn after I changed my wheels and tires on the back. Look at them puppies. Here are the original wheels here. And I thought sure I was going to have to get another set of wheels to put the wider tires on. But as it turns out, the hub in these is exactly the same diameter and the same length as it is on this set of wheels that I think came off of I'm guessing a Craftsman, because you can see the silver color. Yep, and it solved a problem for me with those skinny tires on there. I have some 3 trees in my front yard, and the ground is kind of raised up around them. So when I mow around them, I have to lean hard towards the tree to make sure I keep the traction. Well, even leaning hard towards the tree with those skinny tires, they were just digging holes, and it didn't take much for it to get stuck. Well, I can tell you, with these custom wide tires on the back here, it does the job. Oh yeah. And not only does it do the job, but it looks a whole lot better, you know? And what you can see, I've got this all apart here, and I'm making some modifications and some adjustments. Sorry for messing you up here. I've got the brake set up off of the side of the transmission down in here, so I could clean the discs and clean the disc singular and clean the pads. And I want to make it so I get more of a brake pedal, and it was already adjusted up as far as it could go, and I have my doubts that I'll be able to find a set of brake pads for this. It would be nice if I could, because then I could do it without modifying. Well, what I am going to do in the meantime, so I can keep using my mower, is this is the rod that goes to the brakes. And this is the adjustment part right here. And I have cleaned this, and I'm going to thread this down further. It was adjusted all the way to the end of the threads. I'm going to take it so I can adjust it down another 3/4 of an inch, and that should bring my pedal up so I actually get a good brake. It grabs with it all the way down, but barely. And the other issue that I have, and I haven't figured that one out yet because I've been working on the brakes, is I need to figure out how to get my clutch adjusted up so it doesn't just release all the way at the bottom. There's got to be adjustment under there, and I'm going to do it. Yep, because right now it barely releases enough so that I can shift it. And actually I have to kind of rock it back and forth to shift it from forward to reverse, or even to shift from 1, 2, or 3. And I only mow with first gear on this thing. I don't have that big a yard. So yeah, and that would solve that problem, and with that I would be all set pretty much. And I was intending to work on the Ariens Emperor today. I have a bunch of parts coming for it. I'm actually getting a new ignition switch, because this one here, while it would work, it does not have a ground on it, and the ignition switch that I had that had a ground on it was junk. That was part of the problems I was running into with wiring things and frying wires. So I decided I would use this one just as a off-run start, and have this here for grounding my coils. So that would be on and off like that. Off would be grounded and on would be open, you know. But what I'm going to do is I'll get another ignition switch for here, which is already coming. This will just be, I'll put a light in here, a light that will actually function as my oil pressure light. I have the wiring for it, and that's the plug. This is the original wire, which is not quite long enough to make it all the way up front there. That's not a problem. But yeah, so that would become my oil sending unit. I added this hole here for that switch, and you can see I have an amp gauge in the middle. And what I am doing, this is the original dash panel. This is the one I bought, but it's not quite exactly the same. And this setup here is different, because see, this one here has a keyhole in it, and this one, yeah, anyway, this one doesn't have everything I want on it, and it ain't perfectly nice. So I cleaned my original dash, which is metal, and I drilled it out for the gauge, and I will be putting a light down here, and I'll probably make up a decal that says Ariens on here, or maybe Emperor on there, I'm not sure which. I have the graphics for these two things here. This one is all worn off, but I have the graphics for them in the owner's manual that I have, and I think I'm going to print those out as a decal, and I'm going to clean this off of here. This is going to get repainted. I got to fix this crack here, you know. Those are all kinds of things, and these holes here, this one is completely missing, and that one, I mean, this one's completely missing. This one is here, but the screw was missing. Go figure that. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. And oh yeah, when my brother came out for his visit over the weekend, and I thank you, Cal, it was, what a nice thing it was to have somebody run the camera for you. He brought with him, he brought 2 gas tanks. 2? Yeah, 2. This is one of the ones that he brought, and it's the same size as that vintage one I was going to use that was cut out, but this one is full size, and this will be just dandy. And he said he had a leak. I put some JB weld on the bottom. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm going to put a plug in there and I'm going to test it, and if it works for me, then I'll shoot another coat of paint on it. I don't care what it looks like on the bottom, because you'll never see it. But that'll get mounted up on there. So that's another thing I've been working on. That's why the shroud is over there. as well as waiting for our wiring harness for in here, our new ignition switch. What else have I got ordered? I don't know, I got 2 or 3 things ordered. Anyway, and I was gonna work on my exhaust, but I got busy with this. I ended up mowing the lawn with it after my wife push mowed it, but she wasn't happy with the results. So I did that after I got that and the wheels swapped out. Anyway, that's where we're at. That's what I've been doing. And hopefully tomorrow I'll get the adjustments finished on the clutch and the brake on this, and this will be all done. And that way, and I may order the right gas tank for this. I saw one online, but they want like 20 bucks for it, and it's white. That's not a big deal, I guess. But once the Ariens Emperor is all back together and functioning, then I'll be selling this one. And I made that executive decision, and once that's all happened, eventually I'm going to get back to my Ariens fairway and find out what's wrong with the motor on this one. But that's not going to happen until after I get back to work on the Goofy cart. Yes, sirree, Bob. And I may work on the handheld shaky camera. I may get back to work on the Goofy cart tomorrow a little bit. I'm thinking about dragging out my sandblaster. If I get that frame sandblasted, then I could put some paint on it, and I'd be one step closer to being ready when I get my lift back. So that's where we're at. That's what I've been doing. Thanks for watching, for commenting, and for subscribing. I have less than 60 subscribers to go before we hit the 4,000 mark. I expect by the end of the week I'm going to be making the official sweepstake video for our 4,000 subscriber giveaway with all the details. So thanks again. Until next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying bye for now.